the more that consciousness expresses itself in an infinitesimal kind of way, the more the universe knows itself. So there's a state of ever expanding consciousness which attributes the value to all experience. That means that on an individual soul's journey, we need to go through so many ebbs and flows, inhales, exhales, contractions, and expansions of our individual consciousness, which also gives rise to the depth and breadth of all experience, pain and pleasure, right? Suffering and freedom, everything that allows us to experience duality, but in such a way that we ultimately understand the journey of consciousness through our own individual perspective. That provides value and understanding of at all scales of consciousness, there's a certain experience to be had and to be learned from. That I see consciousness as kind of an accordion of universal awareness, especially when we look at the multidimensional model. If you have different dimensions, these are different experiences of consciousness, like different layers of awareness in and of itself, allowing for expansion to happen. In this domain, it's all about understanding duality. It's all about learning, I think, in the Earth School, how can we truly understand what love is? If we're in a place where it's all about splits, where we experience everything as separate from us, if we understand that's the illusion that consciousness is allowing us to experience through our individuated state of self, how can we learn to come back to the concept of the one? If we can understand that, maybe we can graduate from this level and come back into the state of isness, come back to the oneness and the etheric place of true knowing. And when we start to disrupt our notion of separateness, we can tap into like the Akashic field. We start to have downloads. And I believe that a lot of people, including myself, when we're receiving information from the field, that's where it comes from. We're allowing ourselves to go there, which means we have to tune this radio receiver of our brains into this frequency, essentially, to receive that higher conscious intelligence and that feedback when we're just truly open to receiving. So to master this experience of duality, we have to learn to access the different faculties of our awareness. That means consciousness is not just mental in nature. We can almost think of it as an organism. Like consciousness as a being would be also integrative, not just a mental being, it would be also a heart-based being. And there's the reality of feelings is very important to be understanding, where all of us are like a microcosm of the one mind. And I find it interesting. It's fascinating. There are many hermetic truths that I align with. But at the same time, I think people that really get drawn into the understanding of it's a mental universe, sometimes they lack the connection to the heart. We're very often being hyper-focused on this is all an intelligent design, which is logo-centered in nature, makes you move away from this intuitive feminine aspect. To understand consciousness, we need to understand the masculine and feminine balance, the dark and the light, the yin and the yang. That balance is what creates the essential unity in all things. And so looking at it from just an either-or perspective diminishes the value of the and. It diminishes the point of all things needing to be present in order to create this sense of oneness. So I think consciousness is just like a vastly intelligent system, which is allowing itself to learn and to thrive through creating this environment for growth to happen. It's like us putting ourselves in an environment in which we allow ourselves to come out of the illusion that we need the environment to be perfected in order for us to learn. We can become the environment for ourselves, or we can start to define the inner environment differently to create a more conscious, beautiful experience. So it's a total paradox, I think, consciousness, in that it's learning through us, and we also are consciousness expressing itself on this small version of the universal one. That if we can see that we are all consciousness and everything is just energy, frequency, and vibration, we can align with the value of the everything, the all. And that's just a really beautiful mystery to be unfolding in our lives.